I'm starting to get a bit tetchy with Bukayo Saka. Last season, Mo Salah wins the league for Liverpool. Seasons prior to that, we've seen Haaland for City. Even when City were an attack made up of various different parts, they're playing false nines, you'd see Gundogan go on a run. You'd see De Bruyne have 15 games. And I'm starting to get to a point with Saka where I'm like, what are you waiting for? Show that you're world class. Take that spot. Announce to the league that Salah's sitting on a bench for Liverpool and you're the best right winger in the league, and he doesn't do it.
All of your personal data could easily be on the internet right now and you wouldn't have a clue. But there would be signs. Random spam emails, random phone calls. And genuinely, when you're getting that shit, you're at risk. In boxing terms, your chin's wide open, your guard's low. In football terms, it's an open goal. Where's the centre-backs? Where's the goalkeeper? Well, I'll tell you where. Incogni. This is your line of protection against these data brokers who are out there online, stealing your information and selling it on the internet. And what Incogni does is it acts as your personal security team to go out there and to stop it from happening and to keep you secure. Because unfortunately, this can get really serious where people take bank cards out in people's names. It's a very dark place, the internet. And Incogni is super easy to use. You just create an account, tell them whose data specifically you want removed from the internet, and boom, they're on it. And the beauty is it's 30 days risk-free. So if you try it and it's not for you, you can get a full refund. So if you want to sleep better at night knowing that you're not going to be a victim of any of this stuff, go to incogni.com/kickoff and you'll get a massive 60% off your annual plan. It's a great price for you and your family's safety. And also when you do it, you're helping us pay for the content, and I really appreciate everyone who signs up.
Welcome back to the Kickoff. I am joined by the world's best Arsenal and Chelsea fans because we are going to debate what went down at the bridge in the 1-1 draw, which was a fiery clash. Lots of controversy. We're going to start off with the most controversial moment of the game immediately. The red card. Lads, did you think it was a red card or it wasn't? Because I watched Gary Lineker saying this morning, he was saying it was the slow-mo, making it look worse. It wasn't even a foul back in my day. So what did you make of it?
When you watch it on the slow-mo, he does try to pull out of the challenge. Sure, he does try to pull out of the challenge at the end. Some would say that indicates a bit of guilt because you know that you've gone in for it a wrong way. But I would look at that and say, mate, it's another one of those ones where I've seen them given, I've not seen them given. And I think that when you do go over to the board, you slow it down and things like that, you always kind of know what's going to happen at the end of it. But to say it was soft, I would say is a bit of an understatement, to be honest. He didn't even make contact.
But also, let's just say this. If Moises Caicedo gets a red card, it should be 2-1 on the red cards because Hincapié does a wonderful elbow. Trevor Chalobah's got a tennis ball in the front of his face this morning by how seriously he connected with that. Nicholas Jackson got a red card for that against Newcastle. Brian, do you remember that one? Very similar incident, actually. And then right at the end of the game, Gyökeres does a two-footed challenge directly onto Sanchez's face.
Nearly knocks him out.
So let's just call it 2-1. Let's just end the game 2-1, 2 red cards, and we'll go from there. And you know what? If you want to call the score 2-1 as well, I'm happy with that. That's
we'll take it one red card at a time. So just to put this to Jacob, did you think it was a red card or not?
I think in modern football that gets given. I think if it's against Arsenal, maybe I've got something to say about it. I think Caicedo, Marino's lucky that his studs aren't planted, because if his studs are planted in the ground properly and Caicedo goes through his ankle there, that's a serious injury. I personally, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, I think Caicedo came into that game so charged up, and I think there were challenges before that where he could have been given a yellow card. And I actually think if the ref had yellowed him a little bit earlier, and by the way, there was like 4 or 5 yellows 20 minutes in, he wasn't shy with his cards yesterday, but I think if he cards Caicedo a little bit earlier and calms him down, he stays on the pitch. That challenge in itself, I think he slips, personally, Caicedo. I don't think he means to do that. I don't know if you boys agree with that. I don't think he means to go in studs up like that. And
is that not part of your argument, though, that he's so charged up that he's not in control of himself?
Exactly, but that's my point. Is he's coming to the game, and it was interesting, actually, Sam Dean from The Telegraph wrote an article that Caicedo, just before joining Chelsea, 6 months prior, was very close and very keen on joining Arsenal. And every time we've played you boys, he has played like he's on something. He has played like he wants to put a marker on the game. There's all these comparisons with him and Rice. And I love Caicedo. I think he's an unbelievable footballer. And there are times, especially yesterday with Zubi Mendy's performance, I was like, I wouldn't have minded him in our team. But there's something going on with Moises Caicedo where he comes into these games so charged up, and if I was you, I'd be as frustrated by the player as I am by the referee, because I think he gives the referee a decision to make when he doesn't.
Good question for the boys. Are you slightly frustrated with Caicedo because you big him up so much, and in that moment he cost you a player in the game, and not just that, like, this isn't the first time where we've seen Caicedo. Like, if we're looking at players who, in my opinion, get away with a lot in the Premier League, Caicedo would be top of the pile. Like, I don't know how he doesn't get more red cards, to be honest. So are you not frustrated with him?
What you're saying now is completely sacrilegious. And I think you all need to completely apologise this. And what I'll remember about this is, at the end of the season, when we do our season review, and you two, both of you, put Caicedo in your Premier League team of the season, I will remember this moment and I will ask for a formal apology.
Is anyone saying he's not a good player? No one's saying that, Josh. Stop manipulating the question.
But this is, again... Jacob has just said he might have slipped, and you're saying, are we annoyed at Moises Caicedo for costing us the game? Jacob, the Arsenal fan, has just said he slipped into a tackle, right?
But as Brian said, he does that slip because he's going in
like a fucking lunatic.
Moises Caicedo has kept Chelsea in a title race, kept Chelsea in the Champions League, kept Chelsea performing in the way that they have been performing, week in, week out, season after season. Okay. And you have the audacity to say to us, should we blame Moises Caicedo? I don't give a shit what anyone says. He's better than Declan Rice. He is a better player. You just don't watch Chelsea enough to know how good he is. It is that simple.
I think he's a great footballer.
Draw the line under that.
I think he's a great... I think he's a great footballer, but I remember last time Newcastle played against him, I was astounded at how many orange level tackles he puts in per game. Like, it's none, and that is why
he gets the ball every single time.
Well, clearly
he
not.
Wins the ball every single time.
He didn't yesterday. He got the angle.
Every other tackle that Moises Caicedo has ever done in the Premier League, he's won the ball.
I think with players like Caicedo and Cucurella, you've kind of got to look at the overall package with them. So it's not that they're not going to be involved in incidents in certain moments, but you go over a 38-game season and the cup games and whatnot, are they going to help you 10 times more than they'll hinder you? And the answer's yes in every single game. I do understand it. There's moments, but like you say about those moments, you need to buy a ticket to win the raffle. You need to be the person to put your neck on the line in high stake moments. And ultimately, sometimes that does have downside to it. Sometimes you'll go into a challenge too late. But I can't really say, even being in the stands yesterday, that I thought many Chelsea fans were that annoyed at Moises Caicedo when he got sent off.
You've got to remember as well, right? We've watched Claude Makelele. We've watched Michael Essien. We've watched Kante, right? And I haven't seen a better tackler of the ball. And I'm not just saying this for this point now, but I've never seen someone tackle as good as Moises Caicedo.
Do you know what else
he's a unicorn in terms of tackling.
He's a fucking good actor as well, because that performance when he went down afterward, tremendous.
That was mad.
And
I rated it.
I have to admit, little bit of criticism online right now about Chelsea's play acting, lads, and I'm not picking on you because we will get on Arsenal, but do you lot think that maybe a lot more than the average, there's a lot of rolling around and stuff from Chelsea players?
Come on, Brian. Like, the fact that we're even having this conversation when we're playing Arsenal, the team that are known for the dark arts, they are the bad guys of the Premier League. They're going to be winning the Premier League, and every other Premier League team are going to be going, we hate these bastards. They are a horrible team to play against. Mikel Arteta gets a ball chucked towards him. Enzo Maresca passes him the ball so that his player can take a free kick. And Mikel Arteta walks onto the pitch in front of the fourth official and kicks the ball away. And you're telling me we are the ones that are making the mistakes and we're doing the play acting. Watch Arsenal is a disgrace. You know what you've even said here.
I know something now.
Watch it.
So can I just say, Josh fully believes Chelsea on a title race because I've never seen him this invested. This is the more I know you believe. There's a bit in there.
We are sat in the stands. We're sat in the stand, right? Imagine this. Joey's sat next to me. A wonderful moment that I get to sit and watch Chelsea, my favourite team in the entire world, with Joey. We're sat in the East Upper. I'm loving every single moment. And I'm sat there and I'm thinking, as Raya takes 15 minutes to take a goal kick, as Timber takes 12 minutes to take a corner, as they get a throw in and they kick the ball away away for the 17th time. I'm thinking, what is Jacob going to say to get out of this? How is Jacob going to make this about Chelsea? How is Brian going to turn this onto Chelsea play acting? And the fact that you've done that, it also is just quite funny.
No, Josh,
They're the bad guys, Brian.
No,
we're the good guys.
no,
we spent like £1 billion and we're the good guys.
No, you've got me all wrong here, because this was genuinely in my group chats with the Geordie lads and that. They were saying, I can't believe how the way Chelsea throw themselves to the floor and stuff like that. It wasn't me. Don't blame me, right? Look, I had to bring it up.
I'm getting in that group chat.
Tactically, lads, how do we feel? Who do we like? Because obviously, look, managers can't be on the pitch to put the ball in the back of the net. They can't prevent for a missed time tackle. But who set their team up better out of these two bosses, in your opinion?
Easily Enzo Maresca, by the way.
I agree.
That answer is so easy to answer. Like,
Jacob agrees, actually.
I agree with you. I think especially when you went down to 10 men, I thought they were brilliant. I thought he was organised. I thought they still carried threat. I thought he was smart. And I think, honestly, some of our Arteta's decisions made us worse. I thought some of the substitutions made us worse.
A fair few Chelsea fans before the game would have thought that we would try and match you for physicality. So we'd go with Liam Delap through the middle. Even though he hasn't performed as well as the other centre-backs, we'd go with Tosin, maybe, that sort of aerial presence. What I actually liked is we didn't really try and do that. We set up in our own way, which showed a lot of belief in the way that we can play. We weren't necessarily trying to be that, trying to match you for the physicality. We were trying to do the things that we'd done well in other moments. But to come back to the original question, I think that when you look at the game after it became 11v10, you've clearly got to say that Maresca was way better in terms of the in-game management anyway. And I have got to give it to him just a little bit, because I know that Jacob doesn't really do this, but a lot of my friends are Arsenal fans, right? And I've got so many people that have said to me about Chelsea beating Barca. They go, listen, that Arsenal team would have beat Barca. Like, Barca are rubbish at the minute, stuff like that. There's got to be a point when we go, right, who's the common denominator? Are PSG rubbish? Are Barcelona rubbish? Are Arsenal rubbish yesterday? Or do Chelsea make them look rubbish when they play at Stamford Bridge? Because more often than not, or even away, more often than not, we're making these teams look bad. And there was so much stick given to us where everyone said, well, it's a 10-man Barca side. It's a 10-man Barca side. Okay, whether we got given them or not, we put 6 goals past that 10-man Barca side. And Arsenal struggled to get a point off us yesterday. We played an hour, if not more, with 10 men.
Oh, I'm feeling a lot of confidence here.
What's happened to you two today? You've come into this ready for war. Joey's got his gum shield in. Like, I'm ready to give it to you. Chelsea were great. Chelsea were really, really good yesterday. I don't know why you guys feel. I think they deserve a lot of credit, Chelsea. I thought they played for much of the game better football. I thought they competed with Arsenal. I completely agree with you, Joey. I've seen so many teams low block Arsenal, mid block Arsenal, try and stop us playing. I thought Chelsea played their game. I thought they used the stadium properly. I thought good players like Cucurella was on a card early. People will say that Saka got the better of Cucurella for the assist. I still think throughout the game, Josh, you screw up your face. Saka delivers the assist for Mourinho's goal.
Just to end this point. Just to end this, just on one point here. Saka had to switch sides because of how much Mark Cucurella pocketed him. And he got the assist, good luck to him, but he had to switch sides. That's all I'll say.
He does it every game, but I tell you, look, I think Cucurella was as good against Saka as anyone's been. Like, I'm giving you your flowers.
So you take it back now, what you said originally about Cucurella versus your boy.
No. Lewis Skelly is a great player. I'm not having this.
Come up.
Remember that. Sorry,
mate, when Miles was giving the ball away and knocking it out of play, I was like, oh, they're going to kill me on the kick.
Oh, God. All we're saying is Lewis Hall for England. Just putting that out there. On the goal, obviously, Chelsea go down to 10 men. You must have been thinking, Jacob, like, yeah, right, okay, they've had a hell of a fucking start, but now we're going to make that extra man count. Then you go 1-0 down. Or is there those feelings maybe from previous seasons where you're like, fuck, like, is this where we're going to bottle it a bit here? Is this where we're going to fuck it up? What were you thinking at that point?
I had confidence we were going to come back into the game. It's frustrating because we're missing. So the way we defend corners, we usually put our striker on the front post, whether that's Gyökeres or Havertz. And obviously neither of them are there yesterday. We're missing Saliba and Gabriel. And Chelsea, me and Josh were talking before the game, Chelsea are behind Arsenal as the second best team in the league at set pieces. So I like, as soon as I saw Saliba wasn't there, already Gabriel out, I was worried about those set pieces. And so I thought that it's a great opportunity for Chelsea to score. Brilliant delivery, brilliant goal. I thought, especially with the firepower we had on the bench, I was like, we will come, and we've got goal threat, and we saw that with the goal that we scored. I think what disappointed me, and it's not a case of us bottling it, it's not us not showing that we can be champions, because you're up against, in my opinion, the second or third best team in the league in Chelsea. There's a reason the table puts them where they are. There's a reason that if they'd have beaten us yesterday, they'd go within 3 points of us. It's a really good team. I was disappointed specifically with Arteta and the changes that he made. I thought Gyökeres was a daft substitution to bring on Perez. I thought Ødegaard didn't give us what I wanted him to give us. He didn't open Chelsea up. And honestly, as the game went on, and I know we were pushing and we had that chance at the end where if Timber leaves it for Gyökeres, it's 2-1. But I could still see Chelsea coming and scoring another goal against us. I could still see Chelsea beating us in that game. And I've got to be honest with you, and I haven't felt this way in many games this season. We come away with a point against 10 men. And after the game, I'm going, you know what? I'll take it because we played a serious team there. And I thought, I'll be honest with you, we talk about the Bukayo Saka thing. Saka gets the assist. I said it in a previous episode of this. I'm starting to get a bit tetchy with Bukayo Saka. I'm starting to look at this league campaign and I go, right, last season, Mo Salah wins the league for Liverpool. Seasons prior to that, we've seen Haaland for City. Even when City were an attack made up of various different parts, they're playing false nines, you'd see Gundogan go on a run. You'd see De Bruyne have 15 games. And I'm starting to get to a point with Saka where I'm like, what are you waiting for? Like, you've dragged us to positions in previous seasons. It's set up for you. Eze had his game last week against Spurs. Eze did it, right? In the week, it was Declan Rice. Today, no centre-backs, missing players. Zubimendi's not having a game. Can Saka just step up? That you know that early chance where he's got space on the right-hand side and it's a decent shot. Sanchez saves with his feet. That's the one where it's like, show that you're world-class. Take that spot. Announce to the league that Salah's sitting on a bench for Liverpool and you're the best right-winger in the league, and he doesn't do it. And I thought today that Chelsea coped with us really well. And I say again, happy with the point.
You know, the world-class tag, I don't think he is world-class, actually, now. Like, the longer this goes on, this isn't a 2-minute dip. It's like, it's been a year now of him not, kind of like what Anthony Gordon's gone through, but much worse for Gordon, where his levels have dropped off. One player we can switch to on the opposite side was Estevao, at only 18 years old. Yeah, he didn't have his shooting boots on. Very lively, though. What did you make of his performance, lads?
I always rate Estevao. Whenever he's on the pitch, I'm always very excited to see him. I think that in a game like yesterday, when you come up against a team that are very well set up, sometimes Estevao can be the difference maker in those sort of moments. Because
almost was, to be fair.
Exactly, yeah. And he's actually very, very different to a Cole Palmer. Even when Cole Palmer was playing on the right-hand side, Palmer likes a bit more space to operate. He'll pass a little bit more. Estevao's a bit more direct, but he can take men out of the game when he goes. So I always think he's going to give you that danger. I'm very, very excited to see how he links up with Cole Palmer, because we got a glimpse of him warming up yesterday. And if it wasn't for the red card, then we probably would have seen him. But once that partnership, if it's there, comes to fruition, I think that them two are going to deliver us massive things.
That for me as a Newcastle fan is a frightening idea, because they're just such a different combination of players, and they're going to play so close to each other. And Estevao only being 18 years old, and you know the technical level he could climb to in the next even just 2 years, that's going to be something special to watch. I want to talk about the battle between Declan Rice and Reece James, England's finest. What a battle. How do we feel like that went?
I was so glad to see Reece James continue in that centre mid sort of position even after the red card, because we've seen Enzo Maresca rotate and change players, and I thought that the obvious substitution at that point might have been to take off Malo Gusto and to chuck Andre Santos on another midfielder. But this is the thing, Declan Rice has been a wonderful player for quite a long time now, even at West Ham. And I think when we're looking at, you know, the pre-match sort of, you know, rundown of the team sheet, you're looking at Declan Rice and going, he's the one that can unlock things for Arsenal. And the fact that they had to drop him deeper to allow other players to come on, I think again showed another error by Mikel Arteta. I feel like he's best going forward now. I'm sure Jacob will agree. So the way that Reece James, a player that isn't really known for playing in midfield, you know, warranted that, and actually in the first half was man marking him, I thought was a really good performance from Reece James, but two was also a really good sort of move by Enzo Maresca in terms of his tactics. Like he did lock him down. I still think even at that point though, you know, Declan Rice is still getting space and making passes. So I just think with us, or from the Chelsea perspective, Reece James being fit and available for us unlocks a player at a world-class level. And I think that more and more people are going to start realising just how good Reece James is. And I'm seeing more England fans now go, Reece James has to be on the pitch for us. And performances like yesterday sort of show why.
Mate, there's no debate. There's no debate about him on the pitch for England. He's one of England's best players. And Tuchel knows it, by the way. Like, if there's one manager who understands Reece James, it's him. He's not just fit now. As you say, he ran with Rice that first half. He man-marked Rice. That is one of the most difficult jobs in football, to run with Declan Rice. And I've got to say, like, you know, the one you'll want to bring up on me is me getting overhyped on Lewis Skelly and comparing him to Bukayo. The other one, I'm going to hold my hands up. Last season, if you'd have said Timber or Reece James, I'd have gone, oh, no, maybe Timber. I've got to say, man, like yesterday, Reece James showed there's levels and levels to his on-the-ball play. I know he played in midfield, but what he gives you on the right-hand side, and I've got to be honest, I was let down by Timber yesterday. I don't think he fed Saka well. I don't think he put Saka in the best positions to platform his talents. And it's another one where, you know, at the start of this season, I think Arsenal were expected to compete for the title. I think the expectation on Chelsea was that they would compete for top four, which I think they're going to get pretty comfortably now. I think what you saw yesterday is, and this is where I'm disappointed with Arsenal players, there's a lot of Chelsea players who showed that they are as good, if not better, than the players in Arsenal's team. And I've got to say, there's arrogant Arsenal fans before this game who, if they were doing a joint 11, would have put one or two Chelsea players in. I think yesterday it was super level.
Jacob, pre-season, you did help Chelsea. You did say they didn't have the firepower. They weren't well equipped enough. Did they prove you wrong? And also, are they now your biggest threat at the top of the table?
They've proven me wrong, but I think Maresca deserves an awful lot of credit, because what I sort of came into the season with, and I think you've agreed with me on this a few times, Brian, is I look at Chelsea's forward line and I don't see enough goals. Mm-hmm. And I think what Maresca's done is he's made this team suit the Premier League. The Premier League now, like, how many top attacking talents are on fire this season?
Not many.
Do you know what I mean? Name someone who's having a fucker of a season. You don't want to mark him. There aren't any.
Haaland, there ain't many, is there?
Maybe Mateta. Maybe Mateta's having a good season, but yeah.
Mate, Palace fans, they're not over the moon. This is it. Yeah. This season, it is about being organised. It's about set pieces, and it's about using the midfield that you've got to compete and control space. And Maresca's done that. Like, you are red hot at set pieces. Like, the way he's configured that midfield. I've got to be honest with you, Enzo Fernandez, I've never been a fan, but he was seriously good yesterday. And I think he really helps Chelsea now. Are they our biggest threat? I'll be honest with you, and it's not to sound patronising. Chelsea remind me of Arsenal 2 or 3 seasons ago. You're the youngest team in the Premier League. You've got so many good players. I think it's just a bit early. Do you know what I mean? And similar to us, we had Ramsdale. You haven't got the right keeper yet. I think you need one more star centre-back. I think it's a little bit early. Whereas you look at City, mate, Wednesday night, we could be going into that Brentford game, who I don't like playing, 2 points ahead of City. And if City can reel us in so that before Christmas it's only 2 points, they'll do us. They'll do us because they know know the track.
City have something that Chelsea, in my opinion, don't have. If we're looking at Chelsea, what are Chelsea lacking? I think that Chelsea are just missing those 2 pieces of the puzzle, which is Donnarumma and Haaland. World class at the bottom of the pitch, world class at the top of the pitch. The bit in the middle, I prefer Chelsea right now, if I'm honest with you. Lads, did Arsenal look at you like the real deal when you were playing against them? Did you think, these are the champions?
I think Arsenal are worthy champions at the moment in terms of the way they're playing. You forget they go into this game, they've only conceded 6 goals. Their defence has been imperious, and in a way, in most seasons, defences do win Premier League titles. And so the reason why we were so excited about this game is because we're putting ourselves against what we feel to be champions-elect, and they are champions-elect in that they are so far ahead above everyone. And for all of the other reasons that Joey's just said, Man City, Liverpool, all of those other teams, they're not really going to be in it anymore. And so this felt like an opportunity for us to test ourselves. And in that test, we passed the test. If we hadn't have had that red card, it might have been a different result. And then the table looks very different to the way that it looks now.
I agree. I think Chelsea passed the test, especially for me, because I've been a bit unsure of that fucking Carabao game. Fuck me. Yeah. Bloody hell. It wasn't the best advert for Chelsea. But look, I think that they absolutely proved it. One thing that this game showed me, and I think a lot of people might agree with the way the Premier League is going, and it's like, you notice this if you play FIFA or Football Manager, back in the day, when you'd go into the transfer market, there'd be just a plethora of fun players to go and sign. And now it's just a plethora of workmen-like players who do a job. Do you know what I mean? Like that inspiration, those players who would just be superstars and take the game by the scruff of the neck. There's not as many of them. And even now in this Arsenal side, I look at it and I go, Declan Rice, fucking good player, isn't he? But even Declan Rice in the great sides of the past would have been a cog, a very good cog, in a wheel with some bigger fucking shinier cogs, right? And I'm not really, like, again, in this game, Chelsea go down to 10 men. If this had have been one of those elite sides of the past, players like prime Wayne Rooney, prime Thierry Henry, Cristiano, they don't let you get away with that. No. And the reason Arsenal did let them get away with that is because that is the secret ingredient, the magic ingredient that they just don't have in this side. It's the one thing this Arsenal side are missing, in my opinion, which is genuine, like, world-class attacking superstar that Mo Salah was last season, for example. So, yeah,
mate, after Munich, I said about this Arsenal team, and listen, I'm sat in the pub after Munich with 3-1 over what I thought was the best team in Europe, and brilliant, comprehensive that evening. And I sat there and listen, I'd had a beer and I got carried away. I got my Lewis Skelly shirt on. I don't know who Cucurella is. I'm getting carried away again. And what I said, I think I was comparing us to the Invincibles. I said, I think we're a better coach team. I think we're better tactically, and I think we've got better depth. The one thing you cannot say when you compare this Arsenal team to that team, or great teams that have won the Premier League in the past, is that we have world-class attacking talent. And I sat there and I thought, you know what? If we're that well coached and we've got that much depth, we don't need it. Maybe you do. Yeah, maybe you do. And maybe an Ødegaard or maybe a Saka need to look at, you've got about 2/3 of the season left. You've got to come up and take it.
You know when you'll need it, Jacob? Towards the end of the season, yes. In the Champions League. In those big moments, in big games, where Declan Rice did show out for you last season, but he can't do it every single fucking game. I feel like that is where it could be where Arsenal go, we do need something extra next season maybe. But anyway...